Jim Morrison, Ray Manzarek, Robbie Krieger, and John Densmore formed the Doors in Los Angeles, California in 1965, and they went on to become one of the greatest bands of all time. After releasing 2 albums without their iconic frontman Jim Morrison, who passed away in 1971 at the age of 27, the band chose to disband in 1973, ending their career. Numerous well-known musicians have paid tribute to the American throughout the years, including the late David Bowie, who shared which the Doors song was one of his favorites in a radio interview that Raised on Radio made public. During the radio conversation, David Bowie stated, "It's a big gray out today, but I've got some water and I've got a bunch of records. So I think if I was walking outside at the moment, I would like to be walking on this street. It's Love Street by The Doors." A commanding performer, Jim Morrison. I remember seeing him once at, I think it was the Roundhouse, when they came to London the first time. The lyrics of Jim Morrison's song, Love Street, were dedicated to his girlfriend Pamela Corson. First released in 1968 as a single off the band's 3rd studio album, Waiting for the Sun, several well-known songs like Hello, I Love You, Not to Touch Earth, and 5 to 1 were included on that LP. Ray Manzarek, the late keyboardist and co-founder of The Doors, was a huge fan of David Bowie. In fact, he once discussed how amazing the British musician's music videos were. In a 1995 Rolling Stone special, Manzarek stated the following before introducing Bowie's Fashion music video. "One of my favorite David Bowie music videos. Back in the 70s, it was a real treat, the next David Bowie video. You never knew what he was going to do, or was it in the mid-80s? I don't know. Somewhere in there, who knows? By the time you get to be my age, those decades begin blur together. Whether it was the late 70s or early 80s, I'm not exactly sure, but there were a series of videos that were coming out by David Bowie, and each of them were more inventive than the one before. I would say that he was like the reigning king of video. One after the another, they were all excellently put together." Manzarek said, "China Girl obviously is one of those, and Fashion is one in which David Bowie has the great line which I never understood. They can't do it here, so they do it over there. Beep, beep, Fashion, and that great bass line that is sort of funky. I love that kind of bass line. So I think this is David Bowie at the peak of his form. I don't think that the Thin White Duke has ever equaled this. Although evidently he is getting ready to go out with Trent Reznor from 9 Inch Nails. Whether he is going out actually with 9 Inch Nails or with just Trent, we don't know. But it will be interesting to see what David Bowie comes up with this time around now that he is a mature gentleman and he married a woman, which is a good thing to marry, the beautiful model Iman. She is just fantastic. What a great person she is," Ray Manzarek said. The musician stated in the same interview that he hasn't had the opportunity to meet David Bowie in person yet.